POPKAT, how are you, buddy?
Very good, mate. How's your day been?
Good. It's a busy day. So I had a lot of administrative issues I dealt with, which is it's one of those days you hate, but it's also nice to get rid of some of these things, even though how frustrating it is. I haven't phoned HM Revenue. I was supposed to. I'm going to phone them tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
no one likes calling them.
Yeah, they messed up. Well, one of my VAT payments, I think I messed up the reference, and now they're chasing me for it and fining me for all those things. So I did this a couple of years ago, and then when you phone them, it like takes like 2 hours to find the bloody money. The previous time when I phoned them, the money was like gone forwards, and then the guy traced it, and for some reason, HM Revenue paid it out to some dude in Europe that's got a company called Wolf.
Oh,
Yes, and I had to like have a whole argument with the guy. It's like, okay, I don't care. You guys need to balance my books. I don't care that you paid money out to some dude in Wolf and in some weird place. But yeah, I've had my instances with them.
yeah. I've had a couple of bad run-ins with them. Not through my fault, but just through lack of admin and stuff like that. Through previous accounts and stuff.
Yeah, I've had that too. It's so bad because there's no consequence for accountants over here or advisors for that matter. So you always think you're good until the shit hits the fan, and all of a sudden it's like, well, your issue. You're responsible for your own tax. It's like, really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the accountants, they make you sign that bit of paper. Although they do the forms and all them submissions, there's a little bit of paper that they give you to say you've accepted what they've done. Well, no,
Yes.
that's your job. That's what I'm paying you to do. Now the liabilities are my head.
I had to say, man. And then it's like, it's like really fucking UK tax code's 22,000 pages. It's 12 times the size of the Bible, and you're telling me that if you open up a business, you need to become an expert on all 22,000 pages.
Oh,
And what's the goal of it? It's
yeah,
mad.
nightmare.
Madness. Tony, welcome, buddy.
Yeah, Mr. Bet is
Hey, what's up,
stepping up today with us.
Cool.
So was you at Wolfy's today, or was you where I see you previous?
I'm at Wolfy's today, so this is
Okay.
Wolfy's. So you see in the background, it's the Wolfy's.
Oh, okay, yeah, nice.
Yeah, and then if you turn it around.
Oh, mate, nice layout. Loving the giraffe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we got the giraffe originally because it's my son's favorite animal. So we got the giraffe with the chandelier. The interesting thing about this giraffe is it comes in one box. So when they bring it, it looks like they're delivering a car. Originally, it's like a truck with this massive box on the back, but it's just the one box.
Oh my god. Where did you even get that from? Was that something that you passed and see, or did you hunt for something specifically like that?
Well, it's interesting because people always look at these spaces because we've got the hair and beauty salon next door, and it's also wood, steel, and concrete.
Yeah.
I'll send you the deeds. And people always ask us like, who designed these things and build it? But it's all my wife. And what she does is, like all women, she's got like folders of things that she likes and looks at. So every time we get to a point where we design and build these things, she already has a vision. She just throws it together. So she saw the giraffe a while ago. It's an artist I think in Italy that does it. They've got a white one, a black one, and then they've got ones that look like trophies, that come out of the wall, and then yes, out of the wall. And then they've got these giant 4-meter ones that's made out of marble, which is waterproof. Also, you can put it outside. But those ones cost £25,000, and this was 5 years ago. So, given our government and inflation, it's probably near $1 million now.
Well, I mean, there'd be a big write-off for your company.
Yeah. They can't really do anything, right? So it's one of those things. But
yeah.
So it's but we try to. I mean, we severely overcapitalize the businesses we build. If you think like Wolfy's at the moment, this space cost me $500,000 to build. And you can probably, if you're very prudent and stuff, you could probably do things for like 150, 200K maybe.
Yeah.
It's a bit more expensive now with the equipment, but I've always just had the view that I don't want to build spaces I don't want to be in, and I don't want to build spaces that don't feel real. And for me, it's always been wood, steel, concrete. You know, these are the things you touch and feel. You can just feel it resonate to you, even the leather. So I just always, I think I will always build it, because why build it if you didn't like it, right?
Well, it's that thing, you know, pay monkeys get peanuts. If you're going to be putting your heart and soul into something, why are you going to second class build it? You know, put your whole effort into it, invest a good amount of money, and you'll have a better result. More people are going to want to be there.
Yeah, I agree, man. 100%. Cool. Let me just greet my co-hosts, Chris, Lavendi. How are you guys doing? I probably messed it up there by asking both of you to talk at the same time.
Apologies, you can probably hear the background noise. That's my son. But yeah, I'm all good. Cheers, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, buddy.
Good.
Don't worry. You've seen me when I have Little Wolf on the space. I mean, I sometimes wrestle and do spaces at the same time. It's just how it rolls.
It's all part of parenting, ain't it? Parenting.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I can drop kick my son yet. So
Look, when they're 16, maybe.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, no, all good. Cheers, man. All good.
Very cool, Mr. Lavendi. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just in the back end heavily. DMs flying. Everything's going on at the same time. But other than that, man, we're good. Chilling. Looking forward to listening to the space.
Very cool. Well, cool. So let's kick it off. POPKAT, I don't know, is there any more speakers joining, or are they joining later?
No, the one's currently on a yacht, and the other one's a bit busy with his girlfriend. No, he's not on a yacht. I keep taking the mick out of him this week. He's learning how to sail boats.
Okay.
So yeah, he's currently busy.
Very cool, man. Well, cool. Let me kick it off, though. So, welcome to Blockchain Banter Business with the Wolves, episode 8. I'm Wolf, hosting from Wolfy Spar as always. This specific space is more business oriented, also, but we always try to do like one speaker from now on, so we can get to a lot of detail in regards to not only the project or the business or who the person is itself. So I've met POPKAT this week. We had a nice coffee and a brunch in Canary Wharf. Was it Monday? Yeah, Monday. I think.
Yeah, Monday morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, Monday morning. So I thought we'll do a bit of a space and get into the detail of POPKAT and everything that relates to it. So I think before we start with the project and how it came about and what you guys are doing with it and what's the future, let's start a bit about you. Because you're a business person also, and you've been in it for a while. We spoke a bit about all the drama that goes with being an entrepreneur.
Have we got enough time to go through that? We cut it right short.
I doubt it, but we don't want to make people negative.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell me a bit about, or tell the audience a bit about yourself and where you come from and how you.
Yeah. So originally, by trade, I started off as a labourer. I started labouring at the age of 19. I did that for several years, and then I've always had this thing for buying and selling. I've always just had it naturally where I bought and sell objects. I started off buying and selling tables and chairs on eBay, and then I just ventured on to industrial goods. Then from industrial goods, I started to buy and sell mezzanine floors. Off the back of that, I then done office fit outs, strip outs, plumbing, electrical work. And over the course of 12 years, it just sort of grew into quite a monster, really. Started off with just me, and then I think the 10th year we were running 22 men, 10 vans, 6 or 7 jobs, and I had a passion for the business. And then in late 2020, I stumbled across crypto. I hit all the dogs of that run. And I kind of stepped away from the construction industry and just sort of pushed hard in the crypto. See, that's a bit of a skim of my story. I still do part of the construction stuff, but I no longer have staff. It's all I source the jobs and find contractors to do them. So I've
And
got an
possibly
easy out.
robots. We were talking about the next step is robots.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. So, yeah, I'm a bit afraid of that side of things because I don't think people are not aware of how quick that can come round.
Yes. Yeah, and it will
Um,
be an instant change also. It's one of
yeah.
those things, technology, when it does come around, this time it's not going to be it's not going to take years. You're going to talk about months where like whole populations of
Yeah.
labor is going to change how people work and go about things.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And I think it's going to really shock those lazy heads that are not motivated or don't have the fire in their belly to go out and work. Because once
Yes,
that
and
instant lands,
yes.
the wealth of that type of people is going to get so much harder.
Yes, and but the sad thing is that it is actually a very good opportunity to pursue things in the context of creativity and becoming your own
Yes.
brand and all of those things. So it's going to be a massive opportunity for people that may have not had access to that type of pursuit in the
Yeah.
future. So yeah, it's going to be interesting times. But I
I've got
think
friends in the industry and they say to me, it's really stressing me out. I can't get people with brains and this and that. And I said to him, well, that ain't a bad thing. I said,
yes,
because if everyone was like you and I, the world would be a hard place. I said,
yes,
realistically, it's not hard. You've just got to be consistent. You've got to have your set of rules, stick to your rules, and life ain't really that hard.
yes. Yeah, I always laugh because I'm in I do banking also. I do contracts for the big
Yeah.
banks. So I always laugh when I hear them talk about AI and how it's going to revolutionize everything. But most people in corporations think that AI is effectively going to do the job for them, and they're going to sit around giving instructions the whole day. They don't, they don't grasp what they need to learn and
Yeah.
how to become functional in that type of environment in future. They all just think that work is going to become really easy, which of course is not the case.
Yeah, I agree. I think the IT computing world will be hit up by AI first, and then, like I say, the construction physical side of things that may come 3 to 5 years after. But when it does, it's going to come hard and fast.
One of my friends, a developer, and he says that junior programmers effectively is becoming mute. That as a senior developer, you just have AI running the core scripts and building the code for you, and then you're
Yeah,
just refining and analyzing it and fixing it. In that sense, so it's definitely changing that way.
yeah.
I've got a question for you.
Go
So,
on.
given that you've got physical business and real business experience, quite a bit of it, how would you say that changed the way you approached crypto in investment, or how did it change the approach you had in building POPKAT?
So you do get several different types of owners.
Yes.
You get the young soul that is very inspirational, that has all these great, amazing ideas, but they're not practical.
Hmm.
And then you get another type of project owner, which is they've been in the real world, they understand turnaround, they understand deadlines, they understand costs, they understand delays. And they're also not trying to rush what they're going to do because they know if you rush, things go wrong. Um, so for us, we're taking a very stable stance. We're not here to rush. It ain't a marathon for us, but we've also said that the pace that we go in, we can stay consistent like this for however long. We're not breaking the back on the donkey at the moment. It's very calm and collected motion.
Yeah.
So, although we're not rushing to exchanges and rushing to do or replicate what the space has done, because we can maintain this pace, we're happy.
I think that's very cool. if I look at a lot of projects out there, and just not only in context of CAS, but NFT projects out there and other currency projects, a lot of times the reason why things rug and fall over is because things move too fast.
Yep.
So when people get to that point where they actually sell out quite quick, and all of a sudden they need to start delivering things, that's where you get a lot of people running away.
100%. That's why everything we've done, and the discussion when I pulled the team in and asked certain people to be a part of the team, I just said that anything we're going to do announced, none of it's whispered to close partners or to whoever. It's all kept in-house, and once it's ready, we may drop a little teaser an hour or two before or on lunchtime, and then drop it. And it's worked well for us so far, you know. Excuse me.
No worries. So why did you choose building on the platform that you guys did? What was the reason behind it?
So for me, I stumbled across Kaspa in January, March, April, July 2022. As soon as I went into the white paper and I understood what it was and who was involved, I committed a good portion of my portfolio to Kaspa. And I have waited it's felt like I've waited so long for this point that originally we didn't plan to do anything. It got nearer the time and I thought, I've waited so long for this, why not do something and be a contributor to the space and try and develop it and help grow it and actually be a part of the community than just someone that holds the token.
And is that where the idea popped up then for POPKAT, or
I think I never really invested in POPKAT, but it was always on my radar with the other chains, and it was such a good narrative, and we just toyed with some ideas, and the one was the idea that just shouted the most for us as a team. And we just sort of went with it, and we kind of took the idea, and we're running now.
So tell us a bit about the idea and what POPKAT is and what's the goal of it.
I'm going to bring Tony up for this. Tony, you here?
Hey, GM.
Here
What's up,
he
boys?
is, the man
What's
himself.
up, boys?
How you doing, brother?
Oh man, hey, it's good to finally meet you guys, man. Wolfy, I've seen you, but you sound different still. You sound quite cool.
Really?
Really really quite like a bass stone. It's quite cool. It's quite cool.
Yeah, I'm South African, man, originally.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
What, Soweto? You from Soweto?
Near.
Nearly.
I grew up in Pretoria, so I grew up near.
That's not bad. I always, every time I meet South Africans, that's the first joke I make. Like, are you from Soweto? They're like, no, I'm not.
I've been there. I can say
dude,
that.
I've seen people on the news and stuff, like, holy smokes. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That explains it. POPKAT is, like, regarding like why like building on Kaspa, I think you have a lot of people that don't quite realize what Kaspa is. And luckily for us, like we've kind of been building in reverse. And what we actually discovered this last week was how I'm gonna select the right word, naive people are about Kaspa. So when we went cross chain and we went onto the EVM, we had a lot of people coming into the Telegram asking about the token because it's trading on Uniswap on Ethereum and it's on Dex Screener. So like people are discovering it, they're seeing it. It's on Bybot trending. People discovering it and they're coming in, and the first thing they spam in there is, how do I bridge my tokens back to Kaspa? Because they can see that the Ethereum trader is a little bit more savvy. They can see there's a price discrepancy between the Kaspa side and the Ethereum side, and there's a bit more liquidity. So they immediately ask, how do I bridge back to Kaspa? And what a lot of them actually don't know is that Kaspa is a proof of work blockchain. So when we were on a stream, Major Bybot, they were talking about the project because they were scanning it and they were like, oh, this looks cool. They like the animation, the website, blah, blah, blah. and they were like, it's on Kaspa, but you got that feeling that they don't know that Kaspa is. It's not like it's in the top 30 blockchains. Like it's up there, guys, and they didn't really understand the gravity that was behind Kaspa. So they just were look and that's when for me especially, that's when the pin dropped, and I was like, we're actually doing it right now. You know, we're actually going out to other ecosystems. People are seeing the word POPKAT, which is very reminiscent in crypto right now. You know, you'd be either blind or deaf not to know that it's the biggest meme on Solana right now in terms of cats. It's huge, and that dynamic means that when people see the name, they already know that this is a good meme. So they immediately say, why the heck have these guys, degens completely, spelt it with a K? You know, and that's the hook. That's the hook that brings people in, because when you look at our branding, the K is the Kaspa K, and that's how you want to kind of pull people into the ecosystem. And what we ended up doing is, you know, people are more questioning what Casper is more so than they are questioning what POPKAT is. And when you look at the branding, from the color schemes, from the way everything is being communicated, the team is trying to really efficiently position POPKAT as a Casper native asset, and leveraging that brand awareness that people have around the word POPKAT already, and building on top of that to bring more people into the ecosystem. You know, I had a really interesting little fantasy today. You know, sometimes you have these fantasies, like it'll be ironic when POPKAT is on a centralized exchange and it's right next to the other POPKAT. You know, and those kind of fantasies, it's like it'll be really ironic because people will click it and say, "What the heck is this other POPKAT?" And they will discover Casper. They will discover the proof of work blockchain that nobody's talking about. But yeah, you know, it's got one of the best hash rates going right now. It's on everybody's map. So everything we've done is it's more so not only how do we make this meme go up, but how do we use this to kind of bring more people into the ecosystem by using smart branding and using smart cues that will attract the real degens to understand, hey, there's something bigger behind this account, you know?
Yeah. I think what you're saying is so true. I mean, people don't realize that CAS is effectively enhanced Bitcoin, and it's solved for all the issues that Bitcoin has, and it did that simply because, I mean, obviously Bitcoin has laid the ground, and we've learned from it over the last 10 years, and then CAS was the solution for it. But if you think about it in that way, if you think about CAS being something that's better than Bitcoin but runs in the same format of technology in essence, and if you think about it having a price point at the moment of, what's it, Chris, you're close to it, it's 0.12 at the moment, right? CAS per dollar.
0.13, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or just
Yes.
5? Yeah, it's
So if you
just
think
slightly
about
down.
Yeah, so if you think about that, and effectively this is the better product than the one that's currently trading at $67,000, then and you're still, I mean, it's very young. It's 2 years young, and you are buying in at a fraction of a dollar at the moment. I mean, it's pretty obvious where this is going.
Yeah, I think this run is done great numbers. It's going to continue to do great numbers. But I think once the ecosystem has time to develop and grow as itself, the next run is going to be insane. Like,
Yes.
we're lucky to have found it when we have, and I'm just super excited for the next 3 to 4 years of its development. It's going to be huge.
I agree. I mean, we already accepted that Wolfy as payment. So
Right.
you can buy beer, you can buy sandwiches, everything with gas. So it's incredible. And I mean, the only things I accept Bitcoin and I accept CAS over here, and there's a reason. I haven't done any other ones. But if you think about the way that I ended up or the way and how I ended up actually selling things with that. The Bitcoin guys approached me like 2 years ago, talking about how we can do it, and they showed me a system that works. But the only other person that's ever approached me after that was Kat. And there's this tremendous difference in age between the two. So it is moving in a good speed. It's moving in a speed where it's going to break things.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, mate. I think a lot of people were in doubt. I think there's less people that are uncertain of it at the moment. And it's like anything, it's going to take 3 or 4 years for people to go, do you know what? This is here to stay. And it
Yeah,
is actually becoming quite a powerful ecosystem, or will be.
yeah, 100% agree. So, talk a bit about what it is you guys want to do with POPKAT in the end. What's the future? What are you guys building?
So we said this from day one, because we're not in no massive rush. We're in contact with all the other projects and their owners, and we seem to have got quite good relationships with several of the other projects. And we're just, they've said to us what they're planning to build and what they're planning to develop. And I think we're still in discussions now, aren't we, Tone? Of do we go full blown utility, or do we just remain as a meme? We haven't quite yet chosen a path, but memes sometimes should just be a meme. But along the same time, if the community want this meme to start developing and start creating stuff for the ecosystem, we won't reject that idea.
Yeah, dude, and it's like there's a network that, and I think a lot of people need to understand that behind PopCat itself, there is a network of people who are vested in it doing well. And you can already see from the bridging, from the listings, from all these things that are being done, EVM, all that kind of stuff, that there is a lot of minds coming together here and working on something that they think we can definitely introduce a new look. Casper right now, and this is something that some people will understand and some people won't. Casper right now needs culture. It needs a culture, and it needs people to understand what does it mean to operate on the Casper blockchain. Every blockchain has culture, and you look at the Ethereum boys, and they talk about they are building the next financial platform for assets and tokenized assets and stuff like that. And you look at the Bitcoin boys, and they are digital store of value. And then you look at Solana, and they say we're gonna just make it go fast, 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 fast. And the more you talk to the Casper ecosystem, they don't. Everybody has a different viewpoint of what Casper is and what Casper can do and what Casper is going to become. And I think, as a meme, you are the chief mascot of the ecosystem. And through PopCat, what is going to be engineered is this idea that people can understand that, if when I'm looking through the tweets being put out, I can see that there's this grooming of narrative where PopCat is actively celebrating and pushing innovative things that are being innovated on Casper, pushing terminologies that are Casper native. Like Ghost Dag is not something you're going to find on any other blockchain. And I see the account actively engaging in that educational perspective with cheek and tongue, which makes it easier for people to understand. And also obviously feeds well into this idea that it's an EVM. Somebody in EVM will see the Ghost Tag hashtag and say, "What the heck is a Ghost Tag? Like, what is that?" First of all, they bought their bag on Uniswap, and now they're memes talking about Ghost Tag. They're gonna research that a little bit more. So it's this two-sided approach of like it's educational in a very sophisticated way, where people are kind of getting onboarded into the Casper ecosystem. Because what people don't understand is take it how you want, but Solana can disappear tomorrow, by the way. Kaspa can't. And a lot of people just don't understand that. Ethereum, a bit harder, but it can also disappear tomorrow. The reason I say it can disappear tomorrow is because everything that keeps that blockchain going is digital. There is no physical component to those blockchains. Whereas when you look at Kaspa and you look at Bitcoin, they have physical components. You know, the miners are not going to all of a sudden say, well, there goes all my hardware rigs. I'm going to just throw this in the bin and move on. They're going to be on the Discord. They're going to be on the Telegram saying, guys, I've got a bunch of mining rigs. They need to mine something tonight. And they will make sure the blockchain stays alive. And that's why Bitcoin keeps ticking. And that's why Kaspa will keep ticking. The others, it's a bit murky once the thing's gone, if everybody's like, right, the money is gone now, you need more money. You don't have any hard money stored in the blockchain. So when you see the Kaspa hash rate going up, that means there are more hardwares being deployed on the Kaspa network. And I think deploying a meme on this platform and being inside a meme that could thrive in this ecosystem that is in tune with what the foundation is talking about, with what Kef is talking about, that is producing content that is educational, staying with a meme like that is going to be much better for you on an educational perspective and in the long run, because as more people come to Kaspa, they're going to gravitate towards the accounts that educate and improve their understanding of Kaspa. So I think those two-pronged approaches of like, it's a meme, but just click on the website, go in the Telegram, just look at the memes themselves, and you're going to understand that this meme is actually doing more educational content than you actually realize. And we kind of already said it at the start. It's POPKAT with a K. That's already educating people on every centralized exchange you get listed on. You got to understand that, like, it's huge.
So I think I've got a wider question for Chris, Lavendi, POPKAT, all of you guys. Overall, is it fair to think, if you think about CAS as a currency and the functionality, and you did a beautiful job of talking about what Bitcoin is, what Ethereum is, what Solana is, and what the pursuits are. But in essence, if you look at CAS, it covers all of those aspects. It can do all these things. It's quick. It's a good transaction method, but it can also store value. So would there be an argument to say that when you do pursue only meme coins in the CAS network, that effectively you could also just be pursuing building a store of value attached on top of CAS? Or has anyone thought about it in that way in regards to this?
I think so. I think from what I've seen is I've played on Ethereum for the last 4 years straight. I've experienced all the different narratives. I've run the different hypes. And one thing I've noticed already is that I feel like at the moment, everyone seems to be a bit more honest. It's a bit more warming. And I don't know whether that's because the community is a lot smaller at the moment, but Ethereum is the Wild West.
Yeah.
Whereas at the moment, CAS doesn't seem to be that. The KRC's 20s seem to be fairly friendly. There's no madness. We've had a couple of instances where one or two projects I won't name have done some silliness, but it just seems a lot more friendlier.
I think it's interesting you mentioning that, because when we met this week, we spoke about it, and I meet a lot of different communities that come and talk to me, and Wolfies. I've had Ethereum guys here, I've had Bitcoin guys here. I have a variety of people that's pursuing building things. And I do feel the CAS community is a way more mature community in regards to the understanding of crypto and what it's used for. But yeah, Chris, you've got a question.
Yeah, no, I was just going to follow on from that as well. Say that, I think a lot of people obviously want to make money. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make money. We all want to make money. On layers like Ethereum or Solana, I feel like people are just simply using that to make money. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's all they really care about. With Casper, it seems a little bit deeper, like a lot of people have already said. Like you said before, there seems to be a lot more education about Casper. People are wanting to actually learn about what makes Casper so unique. Because I suppose with anyone, if you've been in the crypto space and you're used to Ethereum, used to Bitcoin, used to Solana, you're thinking, oh, look, another layer one proof of work. All right, so what makes this any different? It piques an interest in you, and you start going, and then you start reading like the white paper, and you start actually understanding what it is that makes Casper unique. And like, if you want to put it as simplistically as possible, like it's a better Bitcoin. It's what Bitcoin was supposed to be in the original white paper. And that's a huge thing for anyone who's actually been in the space. So I think people actually do genuinely appreciate the tech. And I think things like the KGI, for example, the Casper Graph Inspector, it's insane to watch. I think it's such a good visualizer because it shows people what can actually be achieved on a proof of work there and then, like it's actually working. And I think that really does drive a unity in the community because everyone's loving the tech. Yes, people love money as well. Again, I'm not knocking that at all. Everyone likes money. But people actually appreciate the tech. And like I said, with the KRC20s, again, I'm not a big meme person, and I've never said I ever was. But what I have actually really liked about KRC20 and the memes that have been coming out on KRC20 is, again, there's a lot more sense of education behind it, like POPKAT have just been speaking about. I really like that, and it's true. The POPKAT, the K, is the Casper K. That will make someone ask a question, especially seeing as POPKAT's already a recognizable meme on other chains. So that will make someone say, well, why is the K a K, like, and not a C? And you know, and I think that, and I like that idea. And I really like, I love the meme coins in the fact that they are just trying to, that I think it's a good way of getting other chains to look at Casper's chain or network, because it does, especially in that sort of, I mean, look at Solana. There's got to be people from there looking at Casper now. I'm sure there is. But yeah, like POPKAT as well. I think what you've done there, where you've gone over to the EVMs, you're now on. Is it? Are you on Ethereum or is it?
Yeah,
No.
we're on Ethereum. We went over to there, and we kind of did everything backwards. We see what everyone else was doing, and we said, should we do everything in reverse? You know, we'll add some pools out on Casper side, and then we'll add some on Ethereum side, and sort of laying out our foundations before we go and do any mad development or big pushes on marketing or sexes.
Yeah, I love that. And again, that's another good thing for adoption, in my opinion. There's now a POPKAT on the Ethereum's chain. People are going to be looking at it and then wondering where this POPKAT's come from. Well, it's on the on Casper's network as well. Oh, cool. Well, let's have a look at that, because I don't want to pay fuckloads of fees on Ethereum and get my absolutely shafted. I'll go on to Casper's network. There was one thing I wanted to ask about that POPKAT, because I haven't actually looked into it. I've just seen that you are on Ethereum's chain as well. How have you done that? Have you bridged a portion of the supply and then just put that in a Ethereum liquidity pool, or have you
So
set a new contract?
what we discussed is, and I've seen it before, where projects go, yeah, we're now launching on X, Y, Z chain, and they then double the supply. And every project that I've seen do it, and I've been in, I have fat fingered my whole bag. That's just not something I like to see happen. So we was like, we're going to keep the supply the same, and we're going to have a pool there. And you know, if and when we decide to go to other places or whatever else with other pools, we'll do the same thing. The supply will stay the same. So what we did this week, further that development, we had a collaboration with a project called ChainSwap. So they have whitelisted us within their platform, and basically you can swap from any EVM chain now into the Ethereum pool. So we've got access from Casper side. we've got access from Ethereum, and you can instantaneously swap from Solana, Avalanche, all those other chains into our Ethereum pool.
That's badass. I really like that. That's good. Yeah, I'd be interested to see if other KRC20s follow the same sort of route there. Are you one of the first ones to have done that? Gone over to the other chains?
So we were the first to add on Chainage LP. We were the first one to do the ETH side. We were the first one to then have access. Is it 6 or 8 EVMs? Tone? 8.
Yeah, I think we're like 7 or 8. Yeah, 7 or 8.
eight EVMs. And we just we wanted to do that early and not have the issue of being a 15, 20 million market cap and not having the liquidity to front these pools. So we thought, okay, we're going to do the most sensible bit first. And then when we decide to do this huge marketing push and the time is right for us, we're not having to dig around for $400,000-$500,000 or $1 million to provide to these pools and be decentralized and then not have to rely on these centralized exchanges. Yes, they're amazing and every project needs them, but we just don't want to have that issue further down the line.
Yeah, fair play. I think you've done a brilliant job there, to be honest with you, going over to other chains. Like I said, I think that's it's a good way to market Kaspa, I think. So fair play to you for doing that. I think it's good.
Yeah, and it sounds like you guys really build it at the right speed also, like what you mentioned in the beginning. So yeah, it sounds like amazing. So yeah, I mean, any other future things you guys are thinking about other than that, or anything you want to add or talk about in regards to POPKAT?
Go on, Tom.
Just a quick remark regarding memes, and I've followed a lot of people and added more people to my Kaspa following list, and I've actually put them into a certain category so I can hear more. You guys, the pain. My story about Kaspa is painful.
Tell them the truth, Tone.
My story with Kaspa is painful. I had a friend me in September 22 saying, "Hey, because I'm a big utilities guy. Give me a white paper. I love reading white papers." And he said, "Hey, I know you like this kind of stuff. There's this blockchain called Kaspa. Check it out." I looked at it. I read the introduction to the white paper, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna send you some money. You're gonna buy it, and I'm gonna send you a wallet, and you're gonna send it to my wallet." And he basically said, "No, I'm mining it." And I said, "Okay, so I'm gonna give you the money. You're gonna give me the Kaspa." And he refused. He said, "No, dude, just buy it. Here's the exchange. Go and buy it." And I said, "Oh, this guy's weird." And we left it there. 2022. Then I Kaspa again. And I start seeing it on my feed, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" My ego and my arrogance made me skip over something that I should have really paid attention to. And I started building a position, and never as happy as I would have been. When you see something and I was never as happy as I would have been. But the thing that pulls back to Chris's statement about memes, that never being a meme guy, I always was in that perception that memes were weird. And in the 2021 bull market, I didn't play memes that much. 2017, I didn't play memes. That I actually just bought Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ethereum Classic and stuff like that. I was never really into me. I liked solid papers where the person writing actually has credentials. But what I missed is that memes were an easy way of communicating with people and an easier way to onboard people into blockchain. And when I understood memes, I was on Binance Smart Chain, I was on AVAX, I was on Phantom. I started realizing what crypto was. It was just this this open universe where you could traverse and do things everywhere and everywhere. And it was because of memes. And when you ask yourself, IRL, you're in there, okay, you're in there. Your daughter comes home. She says, "Here's my, friend," quotes, you know, you think he's a good bloke. You've seen him around. He's a good kid. The first thing you're gonna do is one of you is gonna tell a joke. You're gonna meme the moment because that's the easiest way to break the ice. You're not gonna go straight in there and say, "Right, boy, let me see your DNA samples. Let me see your blood test. What blood group are you in?" You're not gonna ask any of that stuff. Like, that'll be weird. The first thing you're gonna say is, "Hey, is that your car? You got full tank? Ha 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 ha." Just a small joke, and that's how all of us should view memes. Memes are a way to allow people outside the ecosystem to have a quick insight into what that blockchain is about. What's there? If I don't make any joke, that guy's gonna say, "Hey man, this guy is tough as balls. He's mean. I'm not gonna try anything." But if I let him in a little bit, he's gonna say, "Okay, he likes me. He thinks I'm a good guy. Let me continue doing what I'm doing." And that's how memes are to the outside world. And you will notice more people come into crypto because they hear of these crazy stories of this one guy paid $1 and ended up making it. But that's not what's really drawing them in. What's drawing them in is they say, "Hey, I would have liked that meme if I was on that blockchain, and I would have also bought in." They're not really buying in because they want to do that. They sense that they could have done exactly the same thing because they had similar likes, similar humors, and they have similar, net worth in terms of playing that field. And people keep repeating it over and over in this cycle, and some people just don't know it. $200 billion in the US is spent on playing lottery tickets a year, non-returnable, by the way. That's 200 billion market cap meme coins that could be launched every year, rinse and repeat. So the appetite for people to play this game and to buy these things is huge. Just in the US, guys, we're not talking about global. The appetite is huge. So to disregard that whole genre is very weird. And it's also missing a massive segment of what people are coming to Web3 for, to escape the matrix in theory. And we all know what that is. So I just wanted people to know that there is an ethos behind memes and there is a culture behind them. Especially with POPKAT, there is an ethos and a culture of what we're trying to attract and who we're trying to appeal to. And that story kind of comes out as the project grows bigger and bigger. That story kind of unfolds a little bit more.
Chris, you've got a question, buddy.
Yeah, again, I was just going to follow on from that actually, because I do actually totally agree with Tony. Through doing blockchain banter, actually, funny enough, because I was an absolute complete skeptic on memes when I first started. Lavendi was the meme guy. I was the guy who wasn't into it at all. And I actually, when KRC20 first dropped on Kaspa, I was excited about it because it was going to do good for the ecosystem. So I was happy with that. But I wasn't into it at all. I just, you get those, you sort of get a bad taste in your mouth for memes because of what's happened previous. And you just think everyone's out there to scam you. That's how I viewed it. But I was completely wrong. And by doing blockchain banter, I actually learned more and more about all these different KRC20 projects that were coming through. And again, I always thought memes didn't have any value to them at all. I thought they were just valueless. But I did actually miss a bigger picture, and that is community. That's where the value is for me in meme coins. I've seen different meme coins come out now on KRC20, and the community is just insane behind them. They're all doing things like volunteering to do things. They want to do it because they love that meme so much. They're part of that culture, and I think that does actually, if you get that right, and you get a good culture and a good meme and a good community behind you, that the community is the intrinsic value there. And yeah, so I have actually I've swung round with meme coins, to be honest with you. Not that I am like full blown into them. I'm very much a hardcore Casper guy, but that's not to say that memes shouldn't have a place. I think they definitely should. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter a fuck what I think anyway. It's everyone's individual. Everyone does whatever they want, and that's how it should be. But I am actually getting swung round with memes. I think they're, especially on KRC20. I think it's really good to see, and even some of the ones that have rugged. I think Rusty, for example, I think one of their that they rugged at some point. But they done a CTO, and again, that's the intrinsic value. It's the community took over the project, and at the moment, it's looking like they're doing really well. So again, fair play to them. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. I think when I first started, I was skeptical, and I just sort of brushed it off as these are silly memes. I was wrong. Memes are. I genuinely do believe this now. Memes that have good value to them are because of their community, and I think that's where the value lies.
Yeah, you had the same feeling about NFTs also, until I convinced you to buy a Wolfy's.
That's very true. But I did buy your NFT because it means I'll get a free coffee every day as well.
Yes, yes, and of course, I managed to get you a couple of Viking horns on that day. So there was a hard sale, but I did manage it.
That was a good day, man. I'll tell you what. I'm looking forward to the Caspa party.
The 8th, yeah, it's going to be
8th.
cool, and I'm actually going to be there. So some big horn drinking then.
It's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. Hopefully, I'm going to bring it because I've got. Well, I say I've got them. I can't take the praise for this. My brother got them in, but a couple of blokes, Tom converted to Caspa, so hopefully they're coming as well, just to meet all the Caspians because they're now Caspians, and it's going to be epic, man. Let's just get drunk. It'll be brilliant.
So you're saying my cast winer I've got in the front is going to do some good hash rates?
All I'm saying is get them horns ready, man. Put some beer in there.
Lavendi's getting horny.
Hey, don't make me call out the horny Brits, eh?
Yeah. Are they coming, Lavendi?
They've got an event the week after on the Saturday, but I think a couple of them now turned Caspians might come as well. So I've given them the Luma, so you should be seeing a few signing up.
POPKAT, are you joining us, buddy? Because we were talking about it.
Yeah, so when is it?
The 8th.
I could well do. So I'm away on the 4th. I am back on the 7th. So if I'm not too worse for wear, then you could see me there. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's a great networking opportunity to meet some of the cast players in the UK one. So
I will make the most effort to try and get there. Where is it? And well, yeah, DM me the infos.
No worries. It's Wolfy's bar, so it's going to be here. And
Okay.
then, and like I say, we drink beer out of Viking horns. So it's a good party.
Can't miss that then, can I?
No. I think the other thing is maybe I'll teach you guys about springbokkies when you're here. So springbokkies it's a South African shooter. So I'll teach you guys about that.
Sound.
Cool. So is there how does people get involved in POPKAT? Do you guys have a Discord? Do you have engagement in that way? Just share a bit about how people can buy into it.
Yeah, so we've also got a Telegram for the moment. I think down the line, when our community sort of extends and we get bigger, I know there's some out there that will prefer Discord, and we'll obviously open that. But for the time being, most of our community are sort of Telegram members. The link's in our where if you click on our profile, there's a link to the Telegram there. Several ways to buy. You can buy on Ethereum. The contract is within our website. You can buy on Change on the liquidity pools we provided there, or you can buy on the Caspa bot. So we've got 3 different routes that you can go down. If you get stuck buying, just jump in the TG, give us a shout, and we'll help you out.
Very cool. Yeah, Caspa bots. a surprising, interesting tool because I've used it a couple of times now to buy coins that's launched, and it's surprisingly, it's a really, really cool tool. It's very functional. So yeah, and it's all Telegram based also, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I think that the Kaspa bots had a huge what's the word? I've lost my words. They've had huge support on how quick the KRC20s have grown. I think without that bot, I just don't know where it would be. It's helped the space develop immensely in its infancy. So yeah, big shout out to them boys.
Very cool. Well, thanks, Chris, Lavini, any closing thoughts? Tony, do you want to say anything more just before we close up?
Yeah, dude, it's just about having fun, and as POPKAT saying, you know, you wanna get into the Telegram, and we've got a few guys in the Telegram in there. One guy was even sending just his favorite songs. We had to tell him to stop because not everybody likes the songs, but it's just about building that community more, and we've got some. If you go to our website and you read through, we've got some things that the community can do to show that they represent the community. But I think, like you said, Kaspa is a 4 billion market cap proof of work blockchain. It's so young, and we are expecting Kaspa to grow quite a lot in terms of user base. And we've got some things marketing things that people are going to be able to do, both on the timeline and with their profiles and stuff like that, to showcase their allegiance with POPKAT. So there's a lot of fun things happening around. But I would say most people just vibing in the Telegram is the thing I do. I'm in the Telegram all the time, making jokes and reacting most of the time, reacting with my emoji. I love my sticker packs, so I just react a lot with sticker packs. But being in the Telegram is the first thing that you want to do. Get a feel for the community and then see whether you belong,
Perfect. Well, cool. I think that's it then. So thanks for joining us, and thanks for getting into all the detail that you guys did go in. I always appreciate it when people put themselves out there and put a bit about what their motivation is and what it is that they're building and the reasons behind it. It's always cool to hear it and have that connection. A lot of other projects do not do that, which is horrible. So I'm always glad when people are open and they share like you guys did. So really appreciate you guys coming here today. And thanks for joining Wolf.
Yeah, thanks for having us, mate, and giving us that opportunity. And like I say, we're definitely open to keep communicating with the Caspians and the other KRC20s, and we are a friendly team. We're not closed off, and we're definitely interested in networking more.
Perfect. We'll pull you guys in when we can.
Good stuff. Thank you.
No worries. Cool. Thanks, guys. That's it then. See you next week.
Cheers, Wolf. Bye.
Take care, mate. Bye.
Boom.